All right, guys, video number 3 in the kitchen table stamper online classroom. We're gonna make this congratulations on reaching a whole new level of wonderful no adhesive box. Now this box fits one of these little mini Nilla wafer packets. You could throw a couple of coffee sticks in there, the little Nescafe ones that you've seen me use before if you wanted cookies and coffee. Just a cute little cookie box. Let's grab our Mint Macaron cardstock and let's work on the dimensions of this box. All right, so we have a piece of 8 by 11 Mint Macaron cardstock here. Now, we're going to put this guy in our Simply Scored tool on the 11-inch side, and we're going to score at 1, 2, 6, 7, and then simple, you're going to rotate and score on the 8-inch side at 1 and 7. Now we're going to need a ruler because we're going to do the little diagonal sides. Let me bring in the template for you here. Now you'll see, to remember which way your diagonals should go, remember that from the outside corner, it's going to make an X. So you're going to score in towards the center. Okay, you want these two, if you connected them, to make a big X through the center of your box. All right, so we've got our ruler, and we're going to use it to make the diagonal. We're going to start here. We got 2 little squares in this upper corner. On the second square, you're going to connect from the upper left corner to the lower right corner. And then this square here, you're going to connect from the upper right corner to the lower left corner. Just score along your ruler. Now, from this center square here, you're going to connect from the upper left to the lower right. And 2 squares in this corner here, you're going to connect from the upper right to the lower left. Then we're going to trim away the excess. Not too much on this one. There isn't a lot of trimming. Let's grab a bone folder and paper snips. We'll work our score lines. Don't worry about the diagonal ones yet. Okay, for this box, we've got our 2 squares in the bottom corners here. We're going to go ahead and trim out the first square on each side. These no adhesive boxes depend on the little flaps to hold them closed. So this is all the trimming you have to do. I like to also round my corners here on this free flap that we just made. So let me grab a corner rounder onto the corners. And then I like to add a little thumb notch so that we can pull our box open and closed. So at this point, we'll take a ruler. The box is 6 inches wide, and we are going to just do a small little mark at 3 inches, which gives us a center line. We'll fold and then punch that little marking right off. And there's our little thumb notch. Now, let's go back to those diagonal score lines for a minute here. For this box, you want to work the little score lines inside. So you're going to fold your tabs and then burnish the score line. So now you've got the lid of your box and the tab right here that this one's, or the slot that this tab is going to tuck into. If you look here, you're building the back of your box, see? So when that folds over, now you've got to do these little inner tabs here. So you'll push those towards the inside, bring up, make the front corner of the box, And same with this one. I'm gonna come up and make the front corner of the box. Work that with your bone folder. There it is, there's your box. So when you wrap it around and tuck it in, you've got a little no adhesive box. Pretty cool, huh? All right, designer series paper, your choice. I've got 2 pieces I'm gonna use. Got this green with sunflowers and this beautiful cinnamon cider. My flower designer series paper is 5 3/4 by 1 3/4. My cinnamon cider is 5 3/4 by 2 1/2. And these you can go ahead and glue right to the top of your box. I'm going to use multi-purpose liquid glue. Now, a ribbon saving tip, if you're interested in it, would be to do the designer series paper like we did for the notebook, where you glue the 2 pieces together, making 1 piece, and then tuck the ribbon around. For this particular box though, because I like the way it holds the flap for easy closing, I wrapped the ribbon all the way around, which holds these little tabs, or these little, it holds this little slot so that this tab has a little resistance to slide. But it does use substantially more ribbon, but it also makes your box very much easier to operate. It doesn't go completely flat on you when you open and close it. So I'm gonna stick with my design there where the ribbon helps to make a pocket for the tabs. So to do that, we're gonna adhere our designer series paper. I love this pattern. Oh, I have such a hard time putting glue on it. It's so pretty and fresh. All right. So we'll pop our cinnamon cider. Oops, I'm putting it the wrong way. We want that on the tab side, on the bottom side. Just center it right to left with a nice little even border all the way around. And then our flower pattern. And we want to square that up nice and even. All right, open up the box for now and burnish down our designer series paper, then our ribbon. Here's where before you would tuck the ribbon underneath if you were going for a ribbon saving option. I love the way that this ribbon, when you tie it all the way around, really just holds these little sides in place and makes a nice closure, a nice little slot for the tab. So we're gonna wrap it, keep it nice and smooth, and then we're gonna tie a pretty bow all the way at the edge here. You wanna make it nice and snug and a little bit loopy. Now we have the ribbon holding that little slot. All you have to do is slide the tab in, square everybody up. Nice, easy operation. All right, let's get back and look at our kit here. I've got 3 little medium daisies for you in your kit. I'm gonna punch one here. This is the medium daisy punch from Stampin' Up. You'll need some Whisper White daisies. If you got the kit, there'll be 3 of them in your kit. There's also a tiny little bumblebee 1/2 inch circle. Let's grab those items to start with. We're gonna take our bone folder and roll the petals on all 3 daisies, give them some shape. If you did the bumblebee class, you're familiar with this. We wanna roll the petals just gently. If you pull too hard, you will pull the petals right off, so be careful about that. Go gently. You can go back around a second time with less pressure and get more curl with no damage to your flower. All right, so we've got one what's curved down towards the table. Put a little dot of glue and then adhere one so that it's up. So the petals curl the opposite way. And then our third daisy, the petals curl up, and you see that the petals alternate, making a nice full daisy for us. Now we need a little dimensional. I'm going to take half of a Stampin' Dimensional, set that in the center, and set it aside. It's sticky. Here's our sunflower stamp. It's the big one from the Celebrate Sunflowers stamp set. We're going to stamp this 2 times. The first time we're just going to ink the center. We're going to drop the little flower on center, daisy center, in the very center of the sunflower, and then burnish and lift, and that'll give you a gorgeous center for your daisy. Isn't that cool? It's actually one of my favorite little stamps for this because it really adds just the perfect varying texture. All right, well, we've got our sunflower stamp. We need a piece of So Saffron cardstock. We're going to ink up our sunflower with Bumblebee, and we're going to stamp it on the So Saffron. Isn't that beautiful? While we're stamping, I've got a label here. This one is cut for you in the kit. If you don't have the kit, you'll want the 1 9/16 by 2 1/8 inch clipped corner rectangle. That's from the Tasteful Labels dies. And we're gonna stamp the congratulations on reaching a whole new level of wonderful. We're gonna stamp that with Misty Moonlight. And while we've got the Misty Moonlight ink, we're going to also do our butterfly treatment. I stamped congratulations just a little bit down from center. Misty Moonlight butterflies here, or substitute however you see fit. If you've got a different butterfly punch, this is the butterfly duet. If you'd like to do a little flower, I would love ladybugs. I wish I had the perfect little ladybug stamp. I'd have to look around to try to find one. I love sunflowers and ladybugs. All right, let me slide over and grab my sponge. We'll sponge our little butterflies. We've got quite a bit of die cutting on this little project, so let's get the big shot and some scraps of paper, and let's get going here. This project is going to require a few passes through the big shot. Let's take a look at what we've got here. We've got the detailed sunflower, the outline sunflower, got the background for the leaf, and the center for the sunflower. And we've got our usual salad pieces here, a little double sprig and that skeleton leaf. And let's see how many passes it takes us to get this done. I'm gonna line up my sunflower die with my sunflower image. Now, what I look for every time is these petals that curl to the right. Notice how the rest of the sunflower, the petals are pretty straight. This is what I look for. And then I try to find those same curled petals on the die. If you bring them together that way, it'll save you a lot of time rotating that die round and round and round, trying to find the proper orientation. Pop it way in the corner here. Got a little scrap of cinnamon cider. We're gonna put the center of the flower. Got mint macaron, just jade. Gonna do a little skeleton leaf, and the just jade, and kind of the double sprig here. And one of these little mint macaron leaves. Your just jade cardstock might be kind of close, so be careful. There we go, because we still want to get one more skeleton leaf out of there. I don't think there's anything else I can run through on this run. We're gonna definitely need a second pass. Our second pass is pretty simple. We've got the mint macaron leaf, and we need our detail cut for the sunflower this time. Now I've found that on occasion, and it depends on your machine and what you're running through with it, I've found on occasion that I like a shim for this detailed sunflower. So what I'll do is I'll pick up my thin die adapter, and on top of the Big Shot platform, I'll just take one piece of cardstock. It's folded in half. I'll lay it on the platform and then put my thin die adapter and cutting pad back on. And that'll just tighten up the grip on this die a little bit and cause us to have a more successful, complete cut of that little detailed image. It could be a little bit tight, just crank it slowly. And it's really going to depend on the calibration of your machine. Don't force anything through on your machine. If your machine is calibrated tighter than mine, you might not need the shim at all. So try it first without, and then if you're having any trouble with the cut, add that little bit of cardstock underneath. See, all the little pieces are just falling right out. I'll go ahead and weed these pieces, and then we'll put together and decorate our box. All right, so over here I've got my Just Jade kind of skeleton leaf, the detail, and I'm barely wiping the little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue on the back. Then we're gonna go ahead and adhere it to the mint macaron background piece. And we'll give that a little slide. If you've got any glue that slides out from underneath the layers, I just go ahead and blot with my fingertip and clean it away. It should be pretty easy, pretty tidy. Now, our sunflower, the stamped image, is going to be glued underneath our detailed image. So I'm going to put glue all around this center. And then we're looking for those curved petals. See these ones here that have this kind of a rotation to the left? The rest are pretty straight. We're going to find that same place on our stamped image. That's going to make it really easy to line this up without rotating it round and round. And then we'll just burnish the center. We're going to leave this a little bit free. It gives it some dimension. It's really pretty. I've got a Stampin' Dimensional and the cinnamon cider center for our flower. Pop a Stampin' Dimensional right in the center and add our flower center. Ooh, so pretty. Now, back of our daisy, we're going to add a dimensional. On the back of our label, we're going to add some dimensionals. On the back of our sunflower, we'll add a few little dimensionals. On the ends of our leaves, we can add a little piece of dimensional. All right, time to peel and stick. I'm going to start with my label. I want that all the way up against my bow. Make sure you got it level. And then my sunflower, that one's next. We want that one to breach the edge of the Designer Series papers here. Not quite past the edge of the box, and just a little bit high of center. Beautiful. And then our daisy. And our daisy's gonna go right up against. We don't want it to touch our label. Little leaves. Now these will touch the label, but don't cover your greeting. Now we need our little sprig. There's the salad, and that one's gonna go on the sunflower a little bit. So we're gonna put a bit of glue on some of the leaves, and then all the way down on the stem where we're gonna tuck it underneath the daisy. Our little butterflies are next. One on our label above congratulations, and then one on the sunflower. Of course, you can mix them up, scatter them a little bit if you like. I like to sometimes use the tips of my paper snips to help make that adhesive. Find purchase, make purchase. Is that how it would be said? Make purchase, find purchase. All right, last step. We got our gorgeous pearls here. We're going to use both the silver and the gold. I love how nicely the silver pearls play along with the misty moonlight, and how beautiful the gold pearls look with the bumblebee and the cinnamon cider. These were just embellishments made to be used with the new in colors. Got 2 little silver pearls on each of the butterflies and 3 little gold pearls on the sunflower center. Such a pretty box, and you can really load it up with lots of creative treats. A very good thank you gift. Congratulations on reaching a whole new level of wonderful. That says thank you very much, doesn't it? I also think it could be used for graduation too. Okay guys, if you've got questions about the project, you know what to do. Marissa@kitchentablestamper.com is my email. And for Stampin' Up! Supplies, you can shop marissalvarez.stampinup.net 24/7. Thanks for being a part of the online classroom. I'll see you in the next video.